So that was what we created, and my theory was that all of this would work. But now that we actually have some paying customers where we've got people with, over 1,000 employees having gone through our phishing course, we do a baseline test and we teach people then about, sender information, links and body content and attachments. And after each one, we do a little simulation. And at the end, we'll do a final test to see how they do at sorting the same messages that they had at the beginning. And it's virtually impossible for them to remember, the baseline test after having all the interactive challenges. And so sometime later, they're going to do the final test and they see a huge improvement in their ability to spot those messages. So we can actually measure, 50% improvement on average. It's consistent across the different organizations. So it's not just a gimmick or a fad. Gamification really is driving people's ability to improve their proficiency at spotting phishing messages. So how does this actually stack up with respect to our live phishing simulations and exercises that are being done now? Is there an apples to apples kind of benefits versus pitfalls? So when you look at, the engagement side of things, people's participation in phishing assessments, it's kind of hit and miss. You don't know whether people are going to engage in any given message. But with a gamified system, everybody goes through and they kind of engage because it is inviting them and it's a more pleasurable experience. So the next pitfall that we talked a bit about was firewalls and gateways and the filtering and did people open this stuff or not. So we have a lot less firewall and gateway issues when we have just a normal kind of a environment that's in the cloud as a platform. We're not expecting any malicious messages to be coming at you. So there's a much less chance that a firewall or gateway is going to block the whole system. So it becomes less of a hassle for every time you're trying to test people. The testing scope is much broader for a gamified phishing assessment area because we can put people in those simulations for the help desk or the payroll, things that you can't do with the phishing message because management won't let you. So then the culture issue, obviously, gamification is a much more positive environment and approach that a lot of people prefer. And then the data that we're getting from people is more consistent. Anybody who's completed the course has gone through all of the similar messages with similar difficulties. And we can test everybody on the more difficult ones or on the easier ones, but we're getting consistent data, apples to apples. We have even more scope available because we can go way beyond phishing. We can go to social engineering. We can do scams. We can do fraud, even wire fraud and other kinds of things. We can use what we call social simulations. They are not using our phishing simulator, but we have a little choose your own adventure kind of thing. It's specially designed not to waste people's time. So it actually takes you through social simulations, but that's just a different avenue that you can benefit from beyond phishing. And then of course, all the data that we're getting is much more valuable for the point of view of measuring people's vulnerability. We can really get beyond the participation and completion into what is the proficiency and therefore what is the vulnerability of our team.